I always wanted to be one of those people that rode to work, and the thing that facilitated that was actually becoming a mother, because the quickest way for me to do child drop-off and to get to work in the city was riding a bike, and suddenly it became a part of my habit every day. It was the fittest that I've ever been, and it was also so great to return from work from maternity leave and just have such a clear mind in the morning after like getting those endorphins pumping. And so motherhood facilitated me becoming a cyclist. I think it's important that state and federal governments think about different modes of transport in the future and look at modelling that looks at not just car vehicles but also bicycles, electric bicycles, but also smart forms of transport, whether that's buses, trains, light rail, etc., and look at the way that we integrate that. And I think that we've seen a tendency to have town plans designed on cars rather than people, and I think that we just need to remember that our cities and towns are built for people. I think that electric bikes really have the power to get people from A to B, and for some people that might have like dodgy knees or have really steep hills, an electric bike just takes the sting out of some of those rides and makes it so much more accessible. And so I think that electric bikes have a really important role to play in getting more cars off the roads, but also reducing greenhouse gas emissions. We sparked discussions around members of Parliament about what cycling infrastructure looks like, but support for cycling as well. And so we'll have different groups come speak to us, and we'll try and get as many people to actually understand the power of cycling and what it can achieve in a community. Had a bicycle but didn't have a bicycle pump, so and I'm not into giving presents that aren't practical, so I gave him a bicycle pump. So we need to see Albo back on his bike, and but I also am really proud that when he was infrastructure minister that he rolled out the first cycling program, infrastructure program that had ever existed, which is fabulous. I think, like, from a Member of Parliament's perspective, I think that there's actually quite a few Members of Parliament that have bicycles in Canberra and ride, and to some extent I think it's an opportunity to actually de-stress from the day job, and so I think that there's a strong cycling culture in Canberra. This is a really good example of why I really like riding in a cargo bike, because I can actually eyeball my kids and keep them safe on the road, and be able to have conversations about the community around us. And so, you know, whether it's like looking at neighbours' houses or seeing birds or trees, and it has the duality of, I'm going to say, of being slow and fast. And by slow I mean it's like we go at a slow enough pace to like look at like that rosella flying through the trees. But it's also faster than walking.